This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's repair, we are going to look at this MTD Select Series, old style MTD lawn tractor, riding mower, whatever you want to call it. One of the cleanest old MTD's machines I think I have ever seen. It's been used some. It's got an 18 horsepower Briggs and Stratton opposed twin cylinder engine on it. Though I despise working on the opposed twins because they got a bunch of age on them, and they almost always have a hot start issue with them that seems nearly impossible to fix. Hopefully this one doesn't. This one has been sitting up a little while. Somebody that I know asked if I could get it back going again, so I'm going to try and do that here. Usually whenever these come in, unless they're in really good shape or don't really need a lot, I don't really even work on them to resell. But this is a customer mower, so that's a little bit different story. They just don't bring a lot of money anymore. However, this one has been in the family. It was the guy's dad's, so want to use it up at their lake house. So see if we can get this going again. I'll show you the model number sticker and stuff. I've never seen one that doesn't even have any sort of branding on it besides Select Series, so that's kind of interesting. But so far I've seen that I've got to put a battery in, and I'm going to put a 350 cold cranking amp battery in it because we're going to give this thing the best shot it has to start. And then I'm also going to it looks like I got to put drive belts on it too. So, and then the steering is really loose. I just don't know what I can do to fix that because of the age of the machine. Everything's probably so worn out on it that and these don't really have the best steering as it is. So let me get into it. I'll see what's going on with it after I get a battery in it. It's got gas in it, so I'm at least going to try and start it up. Hopefully it will start for us, and if it does, then that's a good thing. Then it's just a couple of drive belts. I just want to highlight this machine because of how nice it is. So let's take a look around it and see really how nice this machine really is. Let's take a look around. It's a 6-speed shift on the go instead of a 7-speed, which is interesting. So pretty cool there. I don't even know what type of like trim level this mower would have been if this had been like a little bit of an upgrade, because you would think it would have a 7-speed, not a 6-speed, but it has the opposed twin and a 42-inch deck, and so that's kind of interesting that it has that combo. This is a 42A707, so the smaller opposed twin. It's not a 44 cubic inches, 42. Made in 96, made August 21st of 96, so that's nice. Again, fantastic shape for how old it is. Don't know how old it is. I'm thinking this is probably just by looking at the sticker, it's probably a mid-90s mower, maybe a late 90s mower. Yeah, 97. So the serial number, the 5th number in the serial number right there will give you the year. And I know that it's not a 2007 because they did not make these in 87 or 07 like this. So this is a 97, which we just confirmed. It's hot out here, y'all. Need to go in and get some water, but which we just kind of confirmed with the other engine model number. Oil's in decent shape. It does look like it has a little bit of an oil leak, which is pretty typical of a mower this age. But seat just has a little bit of a boo-boo right there, but the rest of it is in great shape. I haven't checked the blades. That's the only, like I said, we just need to put some drive belts on it. Blades are in great shape, so that's good. So it may just be a blade sharpen, drive belts, and then maybe fixing this running issue. I don't know what the running issue might be. But I got a nice new 350 cold cranking amp battery here waiting for it. I'm going to hook it up and we're just going to start it. See if we can start it. I've put a new battery in it. The oil's a little low, but it is clean, so enough to try it here. We'll try it without starter fluid first. I'll give it maybe 2 or 3 tries, and then we'll do starter fluid. The good news is the tank on this is on the front, so let's push the brake down, throttle it up. Not yet. Stuff from the exhaust, didn't it? Is that the exhaust? Yeah. How about that? So, let's see if I can disconnect the seat. Seat's already. Okay. We'll grab a bungee to bungee the seat back, because y'all know that like the brake safety ain't right and all that mess. So just because it's a 25-year-old MTD machine, I'm gonna strap the seat down, crank it up. We're gonna see if we can drive it around a little bit. Gosh, I might even cut the yard with it, top it off with some oil, cut the yard with it, and see if it'll work for us. Because if it does, then I'll just change the drive belts, clean it up. I do need to swap. So it looks like they put the wrong tire on the left front of this, or forgot to put bushings in it or something, and so it's rubbing all up against the inside of this. Oh, it's one of them universal tires, that's why. So I may have to sort that out before I actually cut with it, but man, it started right up after about 30 seconds of cranking. I don't even know how long it's been since that thing's ran. Grab a strap, we'll drive it around. Let's see if she'll start back up for us. Brake. Alright, so it does need some engine mount bolt tightening, which I'll take care of here in just a second. And I need to put a left front tire on it and top the oil off. Let me take care of those 3 things, and I might go out there and cut some grass with it, see how well it does. Well, it's that time again. Pull the engine off of this thing, so here we go. What needs to happen, again, I've got a sump gasket leak, pardon the hiccups, or at least I believe right here on the left front. So it's leaking down from the case there all the way down there, and so I got to take that off and replace that. Overall, this should be relatively easy. I'm wondering what I can take off and where I can take it off at wiring harness wise. It looks like I can take off the yellow wire right here, and then the charging wires are right there, starter nut on the other side over there, and the choke here and the throttle here should get us pretty close. Got to take these cable ties off the top here. So before I take off the double stack pulley bolt and the 4 mounting bolts, and I'll see about the exhaust. I may have to pull the exhaust too. Might be easier to pull the exhaust as opposed to trying to pull it up with everything on it. So excuse me, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to town on this and hopefully have this engine off here in a few minutes. Alright guys, the engine is off, and like I said, the mower runs great. Just gotta get this sump gasket sorted out. What have we got? A few bolts. It's funny how small this gasket is, and if you look here, this is definitely where it's leaking because there's no other area where oil could intrude right here because the head and stuff is back here. So it's definitely the sump gasket. We'll see where it failed here in just a second. But a bunch of 1/2 inch bolts to take off. I need to grab an extension and a ratchet, what do we call it, impact driver, and get these bolts off, see what we're encountering, and then we'll get the gasket off and swap it out, just put it all back in. Alright, it's time for the sump gasket to come off, so let's take care of that. Grab my rubber mallet here and give it a couple of taps just to get it to, there we go. Alright. And there is no bolt right here. I thought there was one, but there is not. So see how she looks on the inside here in just a second. Alright. Governor's right there. We'll make sure that gets back in correctly. I hope. Let me get back. Alright, so that's like the little oil pump thing right there. I need to make sure that, oh no. That fell down in there, so I need to figure that out. goes with that. All right, so I gotta figure this out here now. I gotta remember. At least I got this video footage to look at too. So. I'm probably gonna have to do is pull the camshaft off of it in order to get it right again. All right, so that's coming out. And that goes in like that. That's like the oil slinger, I think. And then I had a piece go down in there. This is my first time doing one of these, so man, I was hoping it would be a little bit easier than that, but that's okay. Let me figure out a little bit more, but what I got to do is I've just got to scrape off and wipe off all this oil, put that governor piece back in correctly, and hopefully get everything back in correctly as well. So you can see a lot of oil right there. Get it all cleaned off. For the most part, the gasket came off with the sump, so that's good. But I've got to get that piece that fell down in the engine right there before we do anything else. So let me work on that and get back with y'all, because this is going to take me a little bit of time. I think I'm going to have to rotate the engine to get the camshaft off so that I can access that piece. Alright guys, so that piece that fell down there was just this little round piece that goes onto the back of this, I guess that's the, something with the oil slinger maybe? Or the governor arm, one of the two. But that's okay. Got this off, and I think this is where it failed at right here. It was near the dipstick, and you can see that that gasket is just really, really brittle. Very brittle. So I'm just going to scrape it all off. And when it's time to put the new gasket on, we'll put it on the engine there. Alright, so all the surfaces are cleaned up now. And I believe I got everything back on correctly. So that piece is on. I got the little washer on top of it. It just slides in, and there's like a little governor arm there, and it just sits on that from what I can tell. I don't see any other pieces. I shook the engine around just to make sure there weren't any other pieces in there that I missed when I did this. And I don't see anything, so that's good. It just doesn't sit like I thought it would, but when that shaft gets put in there, it'll be just fine. In terms of what you need here, this is the 470-017 Sens gasket. It replaces a 692292. I think this is like 15 mil thickness or something like that. So they make 3 different thicknesses, but I think the other 2 have been discontinued, or they don't really exist anymore. So the thickest one it is, so to speak. Should be relatively easy to put on. Again, I've made sure that the gasket surface here is, the gasket mating surface is clean. And so, let's see. Which way is it going to go? Is it going to go like this? It's going to go the opposite way. It's going to go like that. Just like that. That's all you need. If you wanted to live life on the edge, you could do an RTV gasket, but I decided against that. Especially for the riders, I want to do it as right as I can. So again, here's the gasket mating surface. I'm going to kind of wipe it off just a little bit more before we take it in. Actually, we just turn it over and let it go. So let's see. It would go on this side because this was the side that was having issues earlier. And so we'll just slide it in. I think I just got to make sure that I get that little piece in the hole here for that this little pivot thing. There we go. I think we got it. Yeah, we just got it. Awesome. And the governor rests on the other side, so we're just going to take it. I'm going to take it really easy here. I think we just have the guide pins to get through now. There we go. Really easy, really easy. Okay. Now before I tighten everything down here, still got to press it in a little ways, but just to make sure I got it all right still. And everything looks right, so maybe I just need to. It feels like something's not going all the way right there. I may just take it really, really easy with the sump gasket here. Okay, it's going down now, so need to make sure that this is working like it's supposed to. Feels like it. I just hate to get this on and I screw something up, so. Alright, so I think that's good, y'all. I'm going to get all these screws back in. These things are not torqued down very high either. So I'm just going to, usually the torque specs on these are like anywhere between 15 and 18 foot-pounds, which is more than enough for this little impact here. So I may get my little, let's see. So it did crank it down pretty good when I did that, so that's good. The mating surface of this is weird though, because it's a little bit off. Alright, so I'm going to torque them down now, and then after this we'll put everything back on. Hopefully, I'll fix that oil dipstick too. But hopefully everything will be good. I'm just nervous because this is the first time I've ever done this, so, and I don't know if I've lost any other pieces in there. I thought it looked like there was none left, and that's the throttle. The governor seems like it's working like it's supposed to. So hopefully, I mean, I don't hear any rattles coming from inside the engine, so that's a good thing. It's just weird because the way that this engine is, the way that everything's mounted, is just totally, like, this is all off. It's not off, but like, you know, you would think that this surface and this surface would be together, but they're not, so that's kind of interesting. But I'm going to torque these down to about 15 foot-pounds and send it on back onto the mower. Y'all did see how I took everything off, so I think I'm just going to take care of everything, put it all back on the machine, and give y'all a few pointers as to what y'all would need to do putting it back on. Fill it back up with oil, and hopefully we have a Briggs opposed twin that's not leaking from the sump gasket anymore. Well, this is not how I wanted this to come about, but I think overall it's actually going to be better. So I put everything back together, and I've already thrown it away, but the little piece that I was messing with ended up breaking. I don't know if I put it in incorrectly, or what. But another thing that I noticed is that the oil seemed to be turning a little bit gray as well from the oil that I pulled out. I don't know if it's just because it had been ran low on oil or what. But I am learning that these engines, these opposed twin Briggs, are not my friend, no matter what. I broke the sump gasket trying to get it off, and so I was just like, you know what? I've got Briggs single, what we got? Kohler single, Briggs single. I said it's going to be just easier, and the customer, I know he's a great guy, he'll understand. I just want... In every essence of it, this 12.5 flathead is going to be better in every way in terms of reliability and sustaining and maintenance and stuff like that. These opposed twin Briggs are really getting, not long in the tooth, but they're getting old, and they have not aged well. I know people absolutely love these things and build them up, but to race and whatnot, but from a consumer standpoint, whenever I sell or fix machines like this, these things are getting to the point where they're not very reliable, unfortunately. Most of it because of the design and where they run hot and things like that. So after I broke the sump gasket and didn't want to put it all back together again, and really wanting this to be a good, reliable machine because they're going to be using it regularly after it leaves here, I figured since I got a bunch of Briggs singles, let's put the 12.5 in it and call it a day. That's where I'm at. And that's what I just decided. I don't know what it is about these, but I've gotten to where I almost absolutely despise them, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but just it seems like every time I touch these things, they just turn to poop. So, but the Briggs singles don't. So, I did just spray some starting fluid in this. I'll show you that it runs. I'm going to continue to button it up here. Probably put a carb on it, and more importantly, I need to figure out the exhaust situation for it, but that'll come. So that's a good thing. We're running. I got to put a carb on it and stuff. Y'all seen me do this a million times with carburetors, so I'm going to take care of that. Biggest thing I need to figure out, though, because of the way that this hood is, and I may put it back on just to see what it looks like, is the exhaust situation. So let me put this hood back on real quick. Of course it's broken, and as they all are. So let's see, how is this going to work? So let's see. So it's gonna, let's see. The cables are a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be like that. The exhaust actually might be okay. It's actually, I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm just going to roll with it. Because It is kind of close to the plastic, but not terribly. It is kind of right there. But does it have a shield on it? So the shield's on the other side. But it isn't terribly close to that plastic. If I just cut a little window down there for the exhaust to come out, I'll probably be okay. Man, I hate it because this isn't what I wanted to do, but sometimes you just got to do it and just go with it. Like I said, it's just really, really unfortunate. And I could spend, I could get this right, but I'm going to spend days on it probably. And I just don't have that type of time. And I know this will run good with that Briggs single on it. So we're going to do that. I'm going to pull the hood back off, throw a carb on it, get the fuel lines right. I already got oil in it. We'll make sure it runs good, and then I'll put all the belts and stuff back on it. Alright guys, got the new carburetor on, fuel line running to it. I want to see if it runs before I put all the double stack pulleys and stuff on it. So, let's see. Hopefully it doesn't smoke or anything when we crank it up. I do need to I need to route the choke as well, but we'll get it in a second. Oh. Nothing like breaking it in, right? Promising. So I'll put the carb hat and everything back on, air filter cover, and put an air filter on it and stuff, and everything should be good with this. Y'all are right there. I mean, overall it's a period correct engine. It's from 97, and I think the opposed twin was like a 98. This is like a 97, 98 model year, so, yeah, I mean, this is literally the same model year as the 12.5, and it's going to cut with 42 just fine, so I'm not terribly concerned about power or anything. Again, this is the most reliable and easiest solution that I have. Funny thing is, it probably took me less time to put this engine on and get it ready than it did for me to work on the sump gasket of the other one, so how about that? But I'm going to get everything situated on the with the choke and all that stuff, and then here in a couple minutes I'll get the double stack pulley on it. Hopefully we'll be ready for a drive here in a couple minutes and be ready to go. I just got to dress these cables up a little bit as well, just so that they're not kind of all hanging out everywhere. So let me go ahead and take care of all of that. Well, got it all back together, thankfully. Really, the only thing I got to really figure out is the situation with the hood and whatnot. We'll get to that probably tomorrow, because this has kind of frustrated me today, and it's almost 5 o'clock, and I'm ready to be done. But I do want to show y'all that hopefully this runs and drives here. All the wires literally were plug and play from the opposed twin, which is great. The cables are a little bit jacked, but they work. So that's good. And throttle cable. So they're just a little long. I don't think I have any. It's hard to find these in good shape. I may see if I can find some. If not, I'm just going to leave them as is. Tie them up nicely so that they still, or tie them up so that they still work. They'll compact under the hood anyways. So let me get y'all out here, see if we can drive this thing out of here, because I'm ready to be done with this thing. Whew. So what we got left to do basically is I'm going to disconnect the reverse switch on this thing because that's what's going on. Got to secure this dash a little bit, put the hood back on it, put the cover back on it, probably level the deck, sharpen the blades, and this thing will be ready to go. So oh, we got to do that hood modification as well. We'll see if I do it this evening or not. It's supposed to rain cats and dogs tomorrow. We got Debbie coming in, that tropical system, so would prefer not to have to deal with the pouring rain, sorting this completely out. But hey, that's all right. Got to have the rain so the grass grows. So we'll see if I come back out here later this evening, finish it all up. Shouldn't take me too much longer. I do have to align the front end as well. It's a little bit out. Just got to adjust this tie rod a little bit. I wonder if I can put it in that hole right there and make it a little bit better, or if I can. I don't think I can adjust the spindle, but either way, should be good here fairly soon, hopefully. Okay, so I've got everything basically ready to go on this now. What I did is I just cut a very small hole out right there in the hood, as you can see, so that the exhaust has a way to get out there and so it doesn't fill up in the hood here and get the engine really hot. So I've done that, bolted the hood back on. Everything is in good shape again, thankfully. So cables are a little awry, but that's all right. Everything, like I said, works fine on it. Other than that, that's interesting. They actually have a cutout for something there. I don't know if it was from the opposed twin or something else, but this thing's going to run so much better now, or going to be a lot more reliable for them. And again, they're not going to really have that much money in it, probably less than what this would cost if they went out and bought one. I still need to air that tire up. I need to level the deck on it and sharpen the blades. And so I'm going to take care of those items very quickly Leveling the deck on these isn't that hard. I know it's got like a little where this junk is in the middle here. We've got a side-to-side level on one side of this deck, so I just need to make sure that that's there somewhere. Where's the little deck hanger? It's right there, and you have to take a hook off. Ooh, under there. You have to take a hook off, clip off, and then twirl that piece up and down a little bit. It needs to come up on the left side. What I usually do is I usually have a couple of oil filters in here, and so the oil filter boxes act as kind of like the leveling portion of it, and I level it that way, and it works really well. So I'm going to air up all the tires, make sure that they're all at this proper PSI, 10 on the left, 10 on the rear, 14 in the front. And like I said, sharpen the blades on it, and we'll be done with this. Oh, one more thing, I do have to find some nuts for these bolts here and pull this off. A couple of screws here. Like I said, pull this off so that I can get those nuts in there. But that's it. Alright, I think I got it ready to go, guys. I'm going to pull it out here and just show you everything on it. I leveled the deck like I mentioned with that tab on the side there. That's a little bit tricky because you've got to, well, it's way down in there, but you can't really see, but you got to spin it around and you hope that it's not seized up. But I used some vice grips to take care of that. And it got unseized and I was able to screw it in and out, and I got it pretty level now. Can't really show you cutting with it. Oh, I gotta sharpen the blades, but I can do that off camera later. But let me get it out here. I'm trying to catch the breaks in the rain today because this is the week that Tropical Storm Debbie has been around. Luckily we haven't really had many issues with it. We really haven't had any issues around here, thankfully, aside from a bunch of rain. So. So that's good. I just gotta, I just have to, I want to cut with it a little bit before I send it on, and but I think it's going to be good. Like I said, I just got to sharpen the blades on it, and it should be good to go. I wanted to fix that opposed twin, but then when the whole thing with, I don't even know what that was, a piece that's probably part of the governor or something like that, because I don't know if the governor runs through a shaft or something there on the other side. But whatever that piece was, when it fell down, and then when I put the engine back in, after I thought I had put it back together correctly and turned it, and that piece broke, I said I'm not even going to bother. Mostly because of that, but also because I saw some gray oil in there too, and I knew that, I got engines galore sitting around, so it's more time effective and probably in the long term for a consumer more reliable if I put this Briggs & Stratton on it. This single cylinder flathead Briggs & Stratton, which was basically plug and play because of the same year MTD machine that it came off of. It worked out beautifully. So everybody's going to turn out good on this. This, as opposed to me having to source parts, another sump gasket, and then hope I get that little governor piece back on correctly to put back on, and then hopefully the engine doesn't wear out or whatever, as opposed to popping this on and probably cut forever in a day as long as they keep oil in it. And this thing's been kept up well, so I have no doubt that it will. But I just figured that was the best solution. I know a lot of people love to build the opposed twins up and all that stuff. They are great engines, but with the age of them now, it's just hard to keep them going for the average consumer. So the singles are much easier to work on. They don't overheat or run too hot, and like I said, there's plenty of power for this 42-inch deck. So I do appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully y'all found this repair video helpful. I know I skipped a lot of steps when I did the engine swap, but it was a matter of time. I was getting a little frustrated, and I just wanted to get it done. Just wanted to showcase everything off though to y'all with this machine, and hopefully y'all have enjoyed seeing an oddball, really, because it's not even a branded MTD tractor. Is literally called Select Series, and there's no MTD branding on it anywhere, so it's just kind of interesting. We turned it from an 18 to a 12.5, but this thing's going to have plenty of power to do what they needed to do. Old flatheads are awesome. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Hopefully y'all found it helpful. We got a ton more machines out here. I've been cleaning out and then trying to get to my machines in addition to customer machines here. And hopefully I'll have some of that content coming up for y'all in the coming weeks as the mowing season is getting toward the latter stages of the season, and so people probably just going to hold on for a while now if they can. But I do appreciate y'all watching. Hopefully y'all found this video informative and enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.